Hi there and welcome to Gaining Vision. I'm Melanie. Have you had a chance to subscribe to the channel yet? If not, take a second, hit subscribe, and please don't forget to like and share. When you hear the term personal development, what comes to your mind? Some people go, oh, that's not for me. Others think, oh yes, personal development. This is something we usually discover later in our lives as adults. After we've grown up, we've done our education. It's basically the steps that we take to improve our ability, a skill, or to change a habit. Personal development is personal. Clearly, it's something that you have interest in. And a lot of the times it is triggered by an event. So for example, you lose a job. You start to feel lost and unsure of what comes next. So you decide to develop on your skills or go back to school or focus on where you were lacking in that last job. Or it could be a breakup of a relationship and you're feeling inadequate and you feel that you need change in your life and you need to focus on something. Other aspects of it, some people are just lifelong learners that want to develop and grow to help them get that better job. Or perhaps that's going to make them feel more adequate. Or perhaps it is something that people are just doing to help improve themselves because they just want that challenge in their lives. There's so many different ways that you can acquire personal development, and it takes research and it is very individualized. For myself, I'm a Toastmaster and I love public speaking. I love being able to inspire and share knowledge. And I started Toastmasters really to get that butterflies out of my system and get up in front of a crowd. But over time, I started to find there was more skills that I was learning that were transferable to all aspects of my life, in my work, my home life, and in working with my charity. So I really took to Toastmasters. I continue 7 years later growing and developing myself, not only through communication skills, but leadership skills as well. For me, that's what I've taken to. Other people, they prefer self-help books or tapes to do it on their own, or possibly joining a club or a group of people that help inspire one another and motivate. There's so many areas of people can self-develop. One thing I find interesting is when somebody finds out for the first time that they have a talent that they didn't know about, but they've never been trained on it. So let's just say, for example, you're creative and all of a sudden you're playing around with photography or video and you're loving the passion that you feel when doing the taking of the pictures or filming of the videos. But you've never been trained on how to edit out the flaws. So you stay up night after night developing this skill because you want to just better yourself in that whole field, something you're passionate about. For that, it is personal development. It's something that you enjoy. It's an ability that you have, but a piece that's missing. Another thing for personal development could be working on going back to school to upgrade your education, whether it's through high school, getting your GED, if you haven't finished high school, going to college, or going back to university and getting a master's or a PhD. Lifelong learning is intertwined with personal development, but it doesn't have to be expensive and it doesn't have to be time cumbersome. It could be at your own pace and it has to be personal. The main thing you have to find out at the beginning is, what is the reason for this? Why are you doing it? Once you identify your why, then you'll know what you need to do to get there. So for example, you lost your job and perhaps it was because you were lacking in an area of employment. So you'll go on and identify what area was lacking, do some research, find out the way that you can improve and develop your skills in that area comfortably for yourself. Perhaps it is going back to school, perhaps it's taking an online course, or maybe it's just building on your confidence. Once you identify what you need to do, then you have to set goals for yourself to get there, because nobody develops if they don't have a goal. Because you're going to stay stagnant, you're going to read a lot, you're going to hear a lot, but unless you set achievable goals for yourself and see them come to fruition, you're really not going to continue developing. So after you set your goals, you have to stick with it and you have to be persistent. You need to make sure that you are continuing on the learnings to develop yourself. Tell somebody that you're doing it to get them to help keep you accountable. It's great to be able to be independent and do those sort of things. But if you don't tell somebody, nobody else knows. They're not going to check in and say, so how's that course going? Or have you got up and spoken in front of a crowd yet? Just little things like that. Personal development is something that is exciting and it's rewarding once you achieve those goals that you've set. The great thing about personal development is it's never finished. It's ongoing. And a lot of leaders continue to focus on their personal development. Nobody is good at everything. Everybody has opportunities to grow and improve in different areas. When you look at the leaders in this country or tops of businesses, they are continuing to learn, doing personal development, not only on different aspects of their job, but as well as how to be better communicators, better leaders, and really how to make an impact on their business, on community, and on society as a whole. Personal development, some people look at as a negative thing that you're not good enough, but that's not it at all. It's the desire to want to take steps to improve yourself. What areas of your life could you develop in? Do you have a habit that you really want to break, but you're not sure how? The best way to do is to research, find out what resources are out there to help you personally develop in that area that you've identified that needs help. Especially in times of COVID, this is a perfect opportunity for us to focus on personal development because many of us are at home, cooped up in the house with time on our hands. Let's use that time wisely and learn and grow. I encourage you all to share with me how you're developing personally. Because you know what? By sharing ideas with one another, we may help inspire somebody else that may not even know that that component exists. A good way to look at yourself and how you are doing, talk to somebody that you trust. Ask them some candid questions. How do I come across with this? Or do you find that I excel in this area? Or do I need help in this area? Sometimes we don't like to hear the truth, but the reality is it's the best way for us to identify the areas if we're unsure. Sometimes it smacks us right in the face and says, you need to improve this. So other times it's not as clear. I encourage you to take time for personal development. It not only helps you feel good about yourself, it helps you grow as an individual, and your contribution to society and to your employer will grow even more. The more you develop professionally and personally, the more you're worth as well. Keep that in mind. So as you do personal development or professional development, your dollar sign value beside your name when going for those jobs increases. It's a win-win situation. Why wouldn't you want to develop yourself? I challenge you to identify some areas where personal development may help you in your life. Let's face it, none of us are perfect. We all have areas that we could improve on. It's not always easy. It can be challenging. And there are some things that stand in our way, like fear, the unknown. But I encourage you to really dig deep, find out what that is, and research what's available for you. Take this time of COVID-19 and turn it into a positive. Open up your opportunities instead of focusing on the negative parts of COVID. I look forward to hearing all of your ideas about how you're going to develop personally. But until next time, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share. I'll see you next time.